Hello, welcome back. In this job search or job skills webinar series, we're going to be discussing networking. Specifically, we're going to talk about job fair success, how to make the most of the job fair that's going to be coming up in just a short period of time. It's actually on Thursday, January 21st in the AMU from 3:30 to 6 p.m. So make sure that you put that on your calendars right now. And we're going to be discussing tips for making the most and really being successful in your job search techniques and networking at the job fair. Also in this job skills webinar series, we're going to be discussing a little bit about LinkedIn. So first thing we're going to talk about is the career fair and preparation for the career fair. The career fair, this is your opportunity. This is your time. The employers that are there are really high quality employers, and you just need to go talk with them, shake hands, ask them questions, and we're going to kind of go through a lot of the specifics on how to network. So for career fair preparation, first thing, we already talked about your resume and your cover letter. So make sure that your resume is up to date. Include all of the most recent or the clinical opportunities that you're going to be heading to in March. And then also the following from May until July. And again, any other activities, leadership, things that you've been involved in, within this last year or, recently that you can include, make sure that you do that. So update your resume, and then also you want to make sure that you practice your personal pitch. So some people call it elevator speech, some call it a 30-second summary, but whatever you call it, this is essentially how you're breaking the ice and how you're going in, shaking hands, and introducing yourself to all of these employers. The personal pitch is, it's really important to end with a question and really kind of highlight the specific things that you've been involved in and the things that you've done. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about the personal pitch. Also, you want to make sure that you research the organizations that are going to be at the career fair. This is really key. It's also really easy to do. The organizations are listed in Euler Connection. You just go in through the events, click on PT Job Fair, and it'll list all of the employers that are currently attending or participating in the job fair. So make sure that you look at the employers that are going to be there so that you can do your homework on those organizations and have specific questions to ask them about their organization, showing that you have researched them beforehand. We're also going to discuss kind of doing thank you notes and other things about the job fair. So for your personal pitch, again, it's a good idea to practice. You want to introduce yourself, and then also it's very important to actively listen to the employer that you're introducing yourself to. So go in, shake their hand. They're going to tell you their name, potentially the organization or the title that they have. And I recommend repeating their name back to them once you shake their hand, so then that will hopefully help commit that to memory. There's going to be a lot of potential stuff freebies for you to take. The most important thing that you can get from the employer is their business card. So yes, if they say, hey, yeah, sure, whether they have pens or what other kind of promotional items, it's fine to take those, but again, you want to make sure that you walk away with the business card. And then if you have a business card, that's great. You can go, actually Vistaprint, you can get a stack of business cards for relatively cheap and have that as a networking tool But if you have your resume that's well put together and it has all of your contact information, you can give them your resume as well, and then it has all of that, and then you can get their business cards so that you can follow up with them through an email, and then also make sure that you thank them. And like I said before, you always want to end your pitch with a question. So shake their hand. Hi, my name is. I'm a third-year physical therapy student. I'm going to be completing my clinical rotations in July and plan to sit for the boards, whatever the date is. I've been actively involved in the things that you've been involved in. These are the specific areas that I'm really excited about and I'm really passionate about. Can you tell me a little bit about what your organization does in those specific areas? Or what types of specific opportunities are you recruiting for? Do they ask if they recruit on an ongoing basis, or if they're just looking for one specific job right now? There's a number of different ways and actually in the PowerPoint that I'll make sure that you guys have access to, there's a whole list of potential questions that you can look through to hopefully spark that conversation and to start to think through. So when you're doing your research on the organizations before you go into the career fair, you want to make notes about the organizations. Honestly, prioritize the organizations that you're the most interested in. And then if this is the first time that you've ever been to the career fair, I recommend going to a couple that are either a couple of employers that are low on your priority list, or ones that you don't even have on your list first, to kind of practice and go introduce yourself. It's gonna be a little bit rough, like anything else, the first time that you do it, but the more that you go and you introduce yourself and that you become familiar with the types of questions that they're going to ask and confident with the questions that you want to ask them, it gets easier as you go through. Also, like I was saying, you want to research the organization and dig deeper than just kind of going to their specific homepage, and don't ask like extremely general or questions that you're easily able to access from their website. So do a little homework before you go into the career fair, research the organizations, prioritize, and then also write down the questions that you want to ask the employers before you go up and talk to them. And you can have your Padfolio, notebook, whatever it is, and have those things written down. And then once you go and talk to the employers, I recommend speaking with an employer, and then if you need a little bit of time to kind of collect your thoughts or jot notes down, then you can do that, and then kind of move back and forth between talking to an employer and then taking notes on what you talked about with the employer, so that you can send them an email or a specific handwritten thank you note that is really specific to what you just discussed. So again, like I said, on this PowerPoint that I'll make sure that all of you have access to, there's a number of questions that you could potentially ask, as well as tips on your thank you note. So that really kind of sums up the whole career fair portion of, again, just real basic tips on how to make the most of the career fair. Making sure that you're prioritizing your list, doing your research on the organizations, practicing your personal pitch, and having those questions to be able to ask the employers, and just really making the most of this networking opportunity, getting business cards, and having a good conversation with these potential employers. All of them are here to recruit physical therapy students, and so again, they may have another fair where they run into, or they're networking with other recruiters. So honestly, I recommend going and speaking to pretty much all, if not every single one of the employers. You never know where that conversation might go and who they might know and where that might lead to in your overall job search and your career search. So the other kind of networking piece that is more kind of new networking is LinkedIn. We actually have a whole kind of webinar series or kind of a workshop series on how to build and develop your LinkedIn profile, but I'm going to try to do it here in about 2 minutes. So for LinkedIn, the key things that you want to make sure that you're aware of are making sure that your profile is up to date and having a really good summary that kind of sums up what your areas of expertise are, or kind of what it is that you're interested in, and then being a part of the conversation and actively engaging and connecting with alumni and employers that are in the fields or the areas that you're interested in. So the coolest tool that I always recommend utilizing on LinkedIn is if you go up to connections and then you click on alumni, and then it'll pop up all of the alumni that are either current students or anybody that lists the University of Findlay as their college. And the last time that I looked, there's like 12,000 plus alumni that are on LinkedIn. So then you can aggregate all of the alumni or all of the data based on location, where they're working, and what they do. So all of you are in health professions, so I would say, okay, click on health professions, click on the location, and then you can look at the list of all of the different employers that are currently employing University of Findlay graduates. And then you can scroll down and you can click individually on each one of the individuals, the alumni, and they may not be the person that you need to get in touch with, but it's still a really good tool to be able to just connect with them, ask them who they know or who they could potentially get you in touch with that would be the right person to talk to or to follow up with regarding opportunities within their organization. And again, most of the time I don't recommend starting off with, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is really more, you're looking for advice or you're looking for a specific contact person who you could follow up with regarding opportunities within their healthcare organization. The other thing with LinkedIn is, like I said, being a part of the conversation and joining groups, and if there's a specific article that you have read, upload that, share it. Be a part of the conversation on LinkedIn, because all of the recruiting and hiring managers that I know, they use this, and those that are actively participating and engaging, they're the ones that are going to get noticed first. So wrapping things up, make sure that you attend the career fair or any other kind of professional development. If there's conferences, all of those types of things are extremely valuable to kind of build and develop your network, because in the grand scheme of things, your job search, 80%, if not more, is that network and how they're able to be an ally and to serve as a really somebody that's going to help you get in the door. And again, don't underestimate the power of networking. Even if you really don't necessarily, even if it's not necessarily your thing, it's really something that you need to make sure that you devote a significant amount of time to when you're going through your job search. Again, take advantage of the career fair. Make sure that your LinkedIn profile is up to date. Be a part of the conversation, and I look forward to seeing all of you at the job fair on Thursday, January 21st in the AMU, starting at 3:30. And yes, we will feed you, and there may be t-shirts there as well. So thanks again, and we'll see you next time.